roadside assistance, and a tow truck to my car. I invite you all to unleash the full potential of your fingertips.
What's up, Facebook folks?
With the Geico app. Thank you.
Writing a Christian book,
all right, we got 1 minute.
You're doing an amazing thing. Getting it all down
I guess
on
we're
paper.
going to do that.
But once you've got the manuscript,
it's
then
going
what?
down.
Well,
right, hold on a
you
sec.
can spend a year or more trying to find a publisher, or you can cut right to the chase. Make your book real with Zulon Press. Finding a publisher is time-consuming and uncertain.
Let's see
with
here.
Zulon
So
Press,
I'm gonna
things are
share.
quick and definite. They specialize in one thing, helping Christian authors
post.
put their books in print.
Change it
Zulon
to
Press
mine,
will publish your book.
timeline.
Zulon Press gets it into bookstores. Your book is on Amazon. Work with Zulon Press and there's no question, you are a published author. If you're writing a Christian book, get your free publishing guide from Zulon Press. Just log on to ChristianPublishing.com. That's ChristianPublishing.com. Zulon Press. Book publishing by Christians for Christians. Get your free publishing guide at ChristianPublishing.com. Zulon Press is a division of Salem Communications, the same people who bring you this nifty radio station.
The following
This
program
nifty
does
radio
not
station.
necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now.
All right,
Taking
Tom,
calls
stand
at
by.
713-785-1817.
Hot mics in
Toll-free
5,
877-881-0271.
2,
now here's your
1.
host, Tom Perry.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio. 713-785-1817 is our call-in number. This is a show that we try and set you up to win in real estate. You know, it was interesting because with all the things that are going in the marketplace, you just realize how volatile the entire national economy is. I got sucked into a conversation with some liberal Democrats on Facebook. It was an interesting kind of conversation. Just what you realize is that there's a whole lot of what I'll just say, lack of economic education, and so I don't think that people really typically have the ability to look at, you know, how do you evaluate if a stock is a good buy or not? And I think a lot of people don't. They're investing through their 401k or their IRA, which, you know, the real win in that is that if you're working for a big employer, you know, we were walking some office space yesterday, Jason and I, and because we're looking for more space than what we've got currently, and it's not like there's not enough space in our building or anything like that, but we're kind of in a B class building, I would say B minus, in a C class neighborhood. And so as our real estate education and our radio show is growing, things like that, we'd like to be in a better quality building in a nicer area. So, you know, and not too far from where we are is a nicer area. So, and I don't know if you know that with all the things going on in oil and gas, there's a lot of oil and gas companies that have either, they built a building. And so 3 years ago when they were looking for space to move into, the buildings were requiring them that they sign a 7-year lease. So now they're looking to sublease, and there's some really good deals out there right now. And so we're looking to move into somewhere between like 5,000 and 8,000 square feet, something like that. So anyhow, so we're walking the space, and you know, we're trying to make a really good deal on the space. And what I realize is that, you know, this is a big oil and gas company that just recently moved their corporate headquarters. And I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but when you start walking through the space that they have and you see the amenities in big corporate America, you know, they had a dental office in their office space, and they have, you know, all of their security for what they do worldwide. You know, these guys are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, taking phone calls of problems that are being reported in from all over the world. And then they have, you know, their emergency operations center, and you just see, and there's a whole, you know, like I'll call it a cube farm, right? And for those of y'all that work at a cube farm, you know, I get it now. I've never worked personally in a cube farm, but every single one of the desks are stand-up, sit-down desks. So if you want to stand up. If you want to sit, you sit. And all of them have multiple monitors. Now, I'm all about the multiple monitors, and I personally have a stand-up, sit-down desk for those of y'all that kind of follow what I'm doing, things like that. In fact, I have a treadmill at my desk as well, so I can actually. I've got 6 monitors, a stand-up, sit-down desk, and a treadmill, so I can walk while I'm doing the computer and all that. So anyhow, going back to. This conversation I was engaged in Facebook, what I realized is that people are investing a lot of times in their 401k and their IRA, and they're just taking a percentage of their money, just like the taxes come out, their withdrawal for their 401k or their IRA is coming out automatically. And the beauty of big corporate America is that, oftentimes companies will match. So imagine you putting 3% of your pre-tax wage and you make $100,000 a year. You're putting $3,000 a year away. So you're getting 97, but you're being taxed on 97 instead of the 3. The 3 is tax deferred, right? And it's going to grow tax deferred. And then when you start withdrawing it, then you pay taxes on it. And the idea is that you go to a lower tax bracket. But the beauty is, if you're putting 3%, then a lot of these companies are matching. And some of them are matching up to 100% of the first 3%. Maybe you can put 5%, pre-tax, and they'll match you 100% of the first 3%, or maybe 100% of the first 1.5%. I mean, you're guaranteed to double the money. So even if you're buying bad, you're doubling your money. Imagine if you could go out and you could buy a house, and that for every dollar you put up towards buying the house, your company was going to match a dollar of buying the house. So, I'd probably go out and buy $1 million house. I put the first $500,000, and they put the next $500,000. The reality is it wouldn't matter even if I was paying $1 million for a house that was only worth $800,000. I've only got $500,000 of my money in the deal, and so I've still made $300,000. You couldn't lose in that situation. So you can way overpay for an asset in terms of a company or a sector or a fund or whatever it is that you're investing in. You can way overpay and you still get bailed out because of the matching, and so you can't even lose on that. So I think that's fascinating how so many people, because our system rewards people for not being educated, and that's. Now, in the private sector, that doesn't work so much. It really pays to get educated. What you'll find is if you start a business and you're undercapitalized or you lack experience or you don't really know, you're not an expert in all things related to that business. This one person I was engaged in this Facebook conversation with, they claimed that they had, based on some of the things that they were saying, I was making some assumptions about them. Because, let's face it, what comes out of people's mouth will leave clues about what's gone on in their life up to that point, right? So she was actually leaving some clues based on what was coming out of her mouth. And so based on what she was saying, I was making the assumption that this lady had only participated in the economy in 2 factors. One is as a consumer, and number 2 is as an employee. And what I realize is that it's not universal, some of the statements that I'm going to make, because there's exceptions to almost anything that you can say, except for that, if you said the earth is flat, that's just flat out wrong. But, people used to believe that. Isn't that crazy? So, I can make the assumption or the assertion that if you're only participating as a consumer and as an employee, that you may not have the best grasp of the real inner workings of how our economy works, about what it means to evaluate a company, what a cap rate means on a company, for example. That it's, especially on publicly traded companies, to find out what the market cap is on that company. And then when you translate that to real estate, I don't think most people realize what the value of a real estate investor provides to the marketplace. They go, oh, you're just trying to steal a house. No, that's not what we're doing. We're actually providing liquidity to a relatively illiquid asset. What do I mean by an illiquid asset? Well, there are certain things like cash, that's a liquid asset because you can exchange it for other things. You can exchange it for goods and services pretty easily. And so in a true barter system, some things are easier to barter with than others. In our system, that's really what we have. We have a barter system using, dollars as, the standard universal measure of what something's worth, right? So rather than trading, a plumber trading his services for a loaf of bread, or a bunch of loaves of bread with the baker, then, we're using money as that intermediary, right? Okay, so with something like a piece of real estate, that's a pretty illiquid asset. It would take a lot of loaves of bread to trade a baker, for a house, right? And so we're providing an illiquid asset more liquidity, because if you're talking about how many people want to buy a house that has foundation problems, that have roof problems, that have plumbing problems, that need to be painted, that need to be sheetrocked, that have been vandalized. I mean, there's a lot of people that will walk away from a house like that, and we don't walk away. Now, we get to price the property based on what works for us, because what we're really able to do effectively is to determine what's the value of the property in its current condition. So how do we know how to do that? Well, when we first started, we did it because we had learned the numbers of the industry from some other people that had gone before us. Because, the easiest way to learn things is either through your own experience, like riding a bike, for example. You're going to learn that from your own experience, but you can also learn from the mistakes of others. People can say about riding bikes, for example, hey, make sure that you don't go down a hill that's too steep when you're first getting started out, or you want to learn how to ride a bike typically on level ground. That's easier, right? And you also might want to have some training wheels first. Training wheels might be a good idea. In real estate, training wheels may be, something like a mentor or what I'll call an ecosystem of people that have been there, done that before. Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. We have a phone number, 713-785-1817. You can also listen to us on the TuneIn app or on iHeartRadio. You can also go to business1110ktek.com and listen to us there. Or you can just tune into AM 1110 and you can catch us right there. So a couple people are saying good morning on Facebook. Good morning, Ginger. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing? Colby, I see you're watching. Matthew, welcome. Just say hello to a couple of folks that are on with us. So we're providing liquidity to an illiquid asset. And so what's important to be able to do is to be able to walk into a house and say, okay, I think based on comps, that what I see properties in this neighborhood selling for is, let's say it's the median home price. I see houses in this neighborhood are selling for somewhere between $260 and $272, right? So once you determine that, as an investor, I'm going to be risk averse. A lot of people think that investors, they take a lot of risk. Well, they're calculated risk. I want to minimize my risk down as much as possible. I mean, if I'm buying a $262,000 house that I think I can sell for $262,000, what if I buy that based on not a $260,000 valuation, but I buy it off of a $250 or a $245? The lower price evaluation that I buy it off of, the less risk I have in the deal. So it allows for market downturns, things like that. But not every investor does that. What you see a lot of new investors do is that they really stretch the numbers. If they see a range between 262 and 275, they think, man, I'm smarter than the average person. I'm going to over-rehab this. I'm going to make it the nicest home in the neighborhood, and I'm going to go for a 285 ARV, or an after repair value. I'm going to go for a 285 appraisal and sales price. Well, the problem with doing that is you may get the higher offer, the higher sales price, but you don't necessarily get the higher appraisal. I've got a friend of mine right now that's selling their house, their own personal residence. And, they actually listed the property at I'm just going to use some fake numbers. Okay, so let's say they listed the house at $169,000. Hey, you know what? You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'm going to continue the story on the other side of the break, so stay tuned.
Mic's off.
All right, thanks.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property,
Ginger, how was your Thanksgiving?
Offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information,
yeah, you know what?
Call us.
What's funny is some people mispronounce that city.
Fun IRAs, or visit our website at questira.com.
Join a group of hardworking
call it a
investors
city, though, is
willing to
probably
share
a
their knowledge and
misnomer.
experience with others. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Discover more at richradio.org. The Realty Investment Club of Houston, the Rich Club, has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Join the Rich Club and become part of the most informed community in Houston. Quickly discover your investment options. Receive the information you need to get started. Learn what it takes to avoid the pitfalls of real estate investment. You have questions? We have answers. If you're considering investments in Houston's real estate, then richradio.org is the quickest way to join the community and learn how to make money in today's market. Learn more about the education and community at richradio.org. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH radio.org.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know, the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage.
Nikki, have you lost any sleep over the new TRID rules?
We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction.
All right, stand by.
Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
All right, hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. This show is always best when people call in, ask their questions. Hopefully I can help answer questions about finding deals, funding deals, marketing deals, single family, multifamily. If you want to talk about cap rates, if you want to talk about any of those kind of things, you know, we're coming up on, I think, house number 120 for the year. And which that means that we're on pace right now to hit house number 300 in February. And that's starting in July of 2013. And not buying anything for July, August, September. Yeah, I'll remember the order of the months one day. July, August, September, October. Bought our first deal in October. Actually got our first 3 deals in October. I think we bought 2 in November, bought 2 more in December. So that was a total of 7 for 2013. Well, back to a friend of mine. So here's the problem if you're going for the outer regions of the ARV spectrum, okay? And so I've got a friend, I'm just going to use some fake numbers. Let's say that they listed their house for $169, and they got an offer right off the bat within like 72 hours. They got multiple offers. They had like 3 or 4 people that had walked the house, really liked the house. That's always a good sign, right? So this offer came in at, let's say, $172,500, but they wanted $3,500 in... Actually, let's make it $4,500 of seller's contribution to buyer's closing costs. And essentially all they're saying is, hey, we want to get some money at the closing table to help cover some of our out-of-pocket expenses for closing, so we're willing to pay you a little bit more if you'll give us that increase back to us at the time of the closing. So no problem with that. So they're at $173,500. and $4,500. So they're really offering, like, let's say $168, right? So just about $1,500 less than what was being asked for. Well, then what happened is offer was not accepted. The seller was savvy enough to say, you know what, we've had multiple offers. Thank you very much for your offer. But what we'd really like to do is have the highest and best offer that you can give us by noon tomorrow, right? So the buyer went back and sharpened their pencil a little bit. And so remember, the sales price was $169, or asking price was $169. And what the seller came back with is, hey, instead of the $172.5, we'll go up to $173.5, and we want actually they went to $174.5, and they wanted $4,500 of seller's contribution to buyer's closing costs. Okay, so that meant that they were actually getting the $169 within $500 of what they were asking for. They were getting that. So actually, they were getting right at $170, just about $100 more, because they were really originally asking $169.9. They got $170 with $4,500 going back. So that meant it was $174 was the sales price. Well, then they go through the inspection phase, and they say, the buyer said, well, we don't really like the age of the roof. We think we're going to need to replace that soon, so we want you to replace the roof. And the seller said, no, I don't want to replace the roof. What I'm willing to do instead is I'll give you a $2,000 concession in lieu of replacing the roof, which, basically they're saying I'll split the cost of replacing the roof. So that meant that instead of getting their $170, they're now getting $168. But still, that's only $1,900 off of what their original asking price was. Well, here's where the problem came in. So everybody was in agreement with the $168 net, but the actual sales price is $4,500 on top of that. So the sales price shows $172.5. Now, typically what happens in a situation like this is agents get paid off the net. They don't get paid off the sales price of $172.5. They get paid off the net of $168 because those concessions are taken out, of the commission. In this case, what's happening is the agents are looking to get paid off the higher number, but number two, the house didn't appraise. The house only appraised for $166. So what's happening right now is that the buyer still wants to get the same concessions, but they want to start with a $166 price. Now, here's what I believe an experienced agent can help you do in a situation like this, is that if you know you're pushing the boundaries of the limit of where the appraised value is going to come in versus what your asking price is. And this is the problem with going into a neighborhood. Let's say you're going into a neighborhood where most of the houses are selling between $300 and $320, and you want to do a really, really nice house, but you want to try and get $350 for it. Appraisals are going to make it difficult to do that unless you're adding some kitchens or some bathrooms or some of the more expensive rooms. If you're just adding square footage, oftentimes, like in this particular neighborhood, they were only allowing, like, let's say, I think it was 50 cents a square foot if you had an oversized lot. Let's say that most of the lots in the neighborhood were, between 12 and 14,000 square feet, and you've got a 19,000 square feet. They were only adding, it was $1 a square foot. So that's extra 5,000 square feet of land space that the appraiser was only allowing an extra $1 a square foot. That's only $5,000 for an extra 5,000 square feet. Not a whole lot of extra money for a piece of land that's about 25% larger. So you don't get 25% more money because the land is only a small portion of the overall appraised value. Then the other thing is that the appraisal based on square footage, they do pluses and minuses. Some of the comps in the neighborhood had, instead of just 2 bathrooms, they had 3 bathrooms and another half bath in the neighborhood. So if she was looking at, if the appraiser was looking at a comp that sold at, let's say, $180, but by the time they took off, the money for an extra bathroom and an extra half bath, it's not going to comp for the same amount. So unless you're adding a full bath, a half bath, things like that, you're not really going to add extra value. Or unless you have something that's so unique in the marketplace. Like we've got a house right now that we're taking from a 5-bedroom. When we look at all the comps, most of the houses in the neighborhood are 4 bedrooms. So what we're doing is we're taking the 5th bedroom out and converting. There's 2 bedrooms on the same side of the house that's really like the front bedroom, and then the back bedroom is the master. And so we're actually creating like an entire master suite. We're utilizing what was we got an architect involved, and we repositioned the way that the bathroom's configured and took in that front that front bedroom space and turn that into a Mac Daddy master closet and master bathroom suite. And so we think that we're going to be able to push the envelope. And when you're doing something special like that, then you're giving the appraiser a reason to go above and beyond in terms of valuation. And what you can also do there is that, what you have to understand is that appraisals are half art and half science. And what I'm talking about today on the radio, by the way, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our phone number is 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. All I'm talking about today is just the kind of stuff that happened to me during this past week. It's interesting. It feels like forever since I've been on the radio show. I know Jason was on yesterday. We had a best of show on Friday. We had a best of show on Thursday. I did the show I normally do it with Jason on Wednesdays together, but he left early to go out of town for Thanksgiving. It feels like it's been forever since I've been live on the radio. But I was talking to a friend of mine, Steve, this morning on the way to the radio station, and he said, "Hey, what are you going to talk about?" I said, "Really, I'm going to talk about all the things that we've been doing over the last, really since Friday of last week." Because after Thanksgiving and for Thanksgiving, what I did is went out and served dinner with some veterans, and Thanksgiving dinner from we served from 10:30 till about noon, and then went and had Thanksgiving dinner with my family, and then was off on Friday from the radio show. But I actually still went and walked a property on Friday. Went and met Curtis Warden. Actually, going to give him a shout out. Curtis is I think somebody that has some great interior design skills. Some of the design work he does, and I honestly, all the real estate investing I've done has all been kind of paint by numbers. It's Killam beige on the walls, it's semi-gloss white enamel on doors and trim, it's white on this flat white on the ceilings and inside of closets. It's not very creative, it's not very artistic or anything like that. And one of the properties that we just recently acquired, in fact, we closed on it at 1 o'clock yesterday, is a 3-story, I'll call it a townhouse for lack of a better word, but it's over in Augusta, Bering, Fountain View area, right over there, just north of Westheimer, between Westheimer and San Felipe Woodway area over there. High-end area. Townhouse could easily go for $700,000. And that's not the price range that we normally deal in. That's not necessarily a Killam beige on the walls, and we have a relatively low. It's one of the smallest budgets that we've had on a relatively large square footage property. We're doing a $12 a foot, somewhere between a $12 and a $13 a square foot rehab. So it'll for sure be under $15 because it's about 3,300 square feet, and we're going to do somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000. And where are we spending that money? Guess what? Not surprising. We're spending almost all of that money in the kitchen and in the master bathroom. Now, we're not changing out cabinets. We're changing out appliances and countertops and backsplash. That's about it. Other than that, there's wood floors on the entire downstairs. We're resurfacing all of those. We're changing out the wood floors that are on the second floor from a laminate to the same red oak that exist on the first floor. So that we'll have first and second floor will have the same kind of stairs, and because it's only about 700 square feet up on the second floor, that's wood. Everything else is carpet. It's really it's in the landing up at the top of the stairwell and the hallways, and then also the master bedroom. And then we're going to do a lot in the master bath. We're probably going to change out the jacuzzi tub because I don't think people use those the same way that they used to, and do more of an elegant style of tub, and that'll create some extra space so that we can create a really nice master shower, and so we're going to create a lot of space there, make it a really like a spa type of environment. And we're going to do all that for somewhere between $35,000 and $40,000. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mic's off.
Thank you.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. We manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 5 years, Fast Track has completed over 500 projects, which has helped us create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
The Realty Investment Club of Houston has taught more real estate investors than any other program in the state. Come check us out at richradio.org. If you're considering learning how to invest in real estate, then richradio.org is the quickest way to learn how to make money in the Houston market. We're not just another guru-driven club. We're a community of Houston's most successful real estate investors. Join our community to learn what it takes to make money in Houston. Visit richradio.org. That's RICH, radio.org.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Politics is big business. In fact, it's the biggest business of all, and it directly affects every business in this country. Tune into Your Afternoon Drive each weekday at 5, where we discuss news and politics that impact us right here in the Bayou City. Remember the Afternoon Drive with me, Chris Blaney, weekdays at 5, right here on Business 1110 KTEK.
Do you worry the stock market is a bubble ready to pop? If you're retired or retiring soon and can't afford to lose 30 to 50% in a crash, protect yourself now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
7 p.m. tomorrow, Hyatt Place, The Woodlands. 1 p.m. Saturday in the Money Matters office on Memorial. Or 7 p.m. Wednesday, December 7th, Hilton Garden Inn, Sugar Land. Seating is limited. Reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
All right, Tom, stand by.
Or call 800-994-0302.
All right, hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. 713-785-1817. That's our call-in number. What we talk about here on Right Path Real Estate Radio is how can you take part in adding real estate to your investing portfolio. We talk about how do you do that, why you should do that, how you can retire early. One of the books that I recommend, I think everybody should read this book. I think it should be required reading in high school. I think it would make a tremendous difference in terms of turning our economy around and educating people. But it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And give him a free plug. I think it's a great book because, it really talks about what the difference is in participating in our economic society between being someone who is an employee, and there's nothing wrong with being an employee. I'm not saying that there is. But you just have to understand what that means for you economically. And then what it means to be self-employed. And then what it means to be a business owner. And what's the difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. And then what it is to be an investor. So he talks about 4 different quadrants. The employee quadrant, the self-employed quadrant, the business owner, and the investor. And so Because you realize that you could start out as an employee and then transition over time into a part-time self-employed position. And that self-employed can become a business where you're actually a business owner. And the difference between those two is like typically a contract professional is self-employed. But when you can walk away from your business or your company and it still runs, let's say, I don't mean like for lunch. I don't mean stepping away for lunch. I mean like stepping away for like 30, 60, 90 days, and your company continues to run. If you can do that, then you've got yourself a real business, according to Robert Kiyosaki's definition. And then an investor is more of a passive. This is like, if you've got $300,000 saved and you stick that into, a savings account, or you buy a business. But what's different is you buy a business that you don't have to actively be involved in. In other words, it's just passive. That's what an investor does. Like, when you see, if you've ever watched like Shark Tank or something like that, I love that show, by the way. But, these people are investing into being a part of the business. Now, sometimes they realize that although they're an investor, it's not exactly 100% passive. What they want to do is they want it to be passive, because imagine you have like Mark Cuban kind of money. You only have so much time. You have a lot of money. And he actually is going to prefer investments that he can just park his money and he gets a return on his money, so that his money's making money for him. So his money's working while he's also working, because there's only so much time he can trade. But if he puts money to work, then his money keeps compounding, et cetera, et cetera. That's what you can do in real estate. And in real estate, one of the beauties that you get in real estate is that you can invest and take advantage of tax consequences from investing in real estate. For example, you get to expense a lot of the income that you get because you're going to be paying taxes and insurance and things like that, but they're going to be paid for by your tenant. And the beauty of it, the unsung hero, if you will, is the depreciation. So if you get to depreciate a high dollar asset, let's say a $100,000 house over a 20-year period of time, and that counts against, and again, I'm just throwing out a number because it's going to vary. You're going to have to talk to your tax professional. I'm not giving tax advice right here, but I'm just kind of using this as an example. You can get depreciation that counts against the income that you're bringing in. So you might get $500 of net cash flow, but you might have $500 a month of depreciation. So that $500 of net cash flow, $6,000 a year, is tax-free income that you're able to stick in your pocket, or at least a portion of it. And there's ways to do it passively. You may say, but Tom, I don't have enough time to do all of that. We can teach you how to, with the resources that you have of time and money, we can teach you how to either do it very aggressively or at your own pace. We have some of our students that want to do, 12 houses a year. We have some that want to do 3 houses a year. We have some that want to do, 10 houses over the next 10 years. And that's going to be enough for them. So what you realize is that it's important that you know where you're trying to get to. What frustrates me more than anything about people going through life is that they're going through life without a financial destination in mind. It's like they're planning a vacation, and the furthest that they've gotten in terms of planning their vacation is, I want to go someplace other than Houston, Texas. Well, folks, the unfortunate thing about that is that's not a destination. And it's okay if that's your vacation, but it's not okay if that's your life. If you're going through life and you don't have an end goal in mind that's specific and measurable, in other words, if you say, hey, I want to go to Disney, well, do you want to go to Disney in Florida, or do you want to go to the one in California? Or if you're thinking even bigger outside of the box, do you want to go to the one in Paris? Or one of the ones in Asia? So, I mean, you can say Europe or Asia or Florida or California if you're saying Disney, right? I mean, I'm sure there's others as well. Now, the more specific you get, the easier it is to actually plan out the details of how you're going to get there. Do you want to walk? Do you want to ride your bike? Do you want to drive? You want to take a bus? Do you want to take a train? You want to take a plane? You want to take an RV? You want to rent a car? Do you want to take your own car? I mean, you get to decide all of those kind of things. Do you want to stop along the way? Do you want to make the travel getting there part of the vacation, or do you just want to get there as fast as you can and make the vacation be once you get there? these are all the things that you get to decide. But it's easier once you decide where you're going first. So typically one of the first steps that we do when we sit down with our mastermind students, we say, hey, where are you trying to get to? And how fast are you trying to get there? And you know what's amazing? Oftentimes people have not really given the adequate amount of thought, effort into that question. And it's unfortunate. You know, I feel like that most people spend more time planning their family's summer vacation than they do planning where they want to be in 1, 3, and 5 years financially. And then we wonder why we wake up someplace that we don't ever intend to be. It'd be like you go, you know what? I don't really know where I want to go on vacation. And then all of a sudden you wake up in, you know, Dumas. And Ginger might be laughing right now. You know, it's like, I don't know that you'd be real thrilled. I'm not trying to throw the people of Dumas under the bus, but, you know, it's not necessarily Disney. You know, I'm not saying that it's terrible. I mean, some people might like, you know, spending time in a small town like that, but there's not a whole lot of entertainment going on. There's not a high entertainment value to go there. You know, it's interesting. We were talking recently about there's a place outside of Houston called Round Top, and it's a quaint little town to go to. And, you know, but what I'll say is that you don't really typically get to Round Top by accident. You don't just end up in Round Top and go, dang, how did I get here? No, most people get to Round Top by design. Now, there's a great bed and breakfast there. I've got a real good friend of mine that owns a bed and breakfast there. It's a great place to stay. There are a few things to do there, but it's not like going to Disney. I mean, there are a ton of things to do in Disney. It's not like going to Vegas. It's not like going to Fredericksburg. I mean, you can go to a town like Fredericksburg, and there's quite a bit going on. Now, is there as much going on in Fredericksburg as there is like in Austin or San Antonio? Heck no, there's not. But there's even less going on in Round Top. So if you were looking to build a business that was based on, you know, retail or something like that, would you necessarily want to do it in a really, really small town like Dumas? And I don't know that necessarily depends on what your goals are, right? I mean, if your idea is to just kind of have a little bit of extra money to supplement Social Security and a way to spend your time because you don't like fishing or hunting or golfing or, you know, knitting or crocheting or any of those kind of things or cooking, then yeah, maybe that works out for you. But don't end up there by accident. That's my point, is that if you're going to end up there by design. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So, marketing, finding deals, funding deals, marketing deals, that's what we talk about on the show. Just in the last, 3 or 4 days, what I've done is I walked a house that we just had the roof replaced. And the roof, when it got replaced, we had to reattach the rafters to the ridge. And when I did the inspection, I kind of talked to the roofer because they were going to have the easiest access to the rafters through the decking. So when you pull the roof off, there's decking there, and you just pull the decking up. It was really hard to access the attic because there wasn't really an attic access for the very top of the house. It's a story and a half. And so I was telling the roofer before they ever got started, this is how I want the rafters reattached to the ridge.
2 minutes.
And so what ended up happening is he didn't do it that way. He left it up to his carpenter basically to decide how the carpenter wanted to do it. And the trouble is that I realized that when we go to sell this house, that there's a high probability that as difficult as it is to get up into the attic, that the inspector may find a way to do it. And if he sees the way that these rafters were done, although technically it works, it's not the typical way that's supposed to be done. And so I wanted it the way that most inspectors are going to say, oh, yeah, I've seen this before. Because, it's not uncommon with the foundations that we have in the soil movement in the city of Houston for as the house settles, that the rafters pull away a little bit, sometimes an inch or two from the ridge, which is the very top, of the attic. But very rarely do the nails pull completely out of the ridge, and that's what happened in this situation. So what I wanted him to do is I wanted him to do a hanger and a sister board, do the hanger on the ridge, and have that have a 2x6 that's the same size as the rafter attached, maybe about 18 inches along the rafter, and have that attached to the ridge so that you have the structural strength and integrity of the extra 18 inches of the board. Well, so one of the things I did yesterday is that I went and inspected that because I've got experience in that, and I want to make sure that that's being done right. And it wasn't, and they got it fixed. They're doing it. They did it correctly because I want to make sure that the product that we're selling when we're flipping the house, I'm not just trying to cover it up. I know a lot of flippers would do that. I don't recommend that. I want to be proud of the product that I'm selling. I want to be able to sell a property to someone that I know and not be embarrassed. And so this is going to be a really, really nice house when it's all finished. So I did that. I also walked this other house that we're going to do a $35,000 or $40,000 remodel just to help do some of the design. Now, I'm not GCing this property. You know, we actually have a GC that's overseeing it. I just happen to oversee this one part of it. I oversaw the foundation repairs and the roof repair in this situation, but we're using Fast Track to do the other almost $75,000 worth of remodeling that's going to be done. So we're going to spend about $90,000 on this particular house, and then we're going to end up selling it for in the $320,000 range. Hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. We're going to a break.
Mic's off.
Thank you.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., Call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
What makes a holiday card unforgettable? Personality. And no one makes it easier or more affordable to create a holiday card full of personality than Vistaprint. For a limited time, get 60% off all custom holiday cards. Plus, save on personalized one-of-a-kind holiday gifts too. With hundreds of stunning designs, your personality will shine through. But act fast. Go to Vistaprint.com until December 6th and enter the promo code RADIO to get 60% off all custom holiday cards. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code RADIO.
If you're using drugs or are addicted to pills or alcohol, you need help. You know that your addiction is harming your life, your job opportunities, and most importantly, your loved ones. That's where we come in. The Kick Addiction Network specializes in getting you the help you need to beat addiction.
You and Jason
our network
need to
of treatment
discuss
specialists
about what
can
you
help
guys want to
get
do
clean
for
and have the
our
experience
Christmas
and track records to show for it.
and
And if you're struggling with addiction and have
and
private
New Year's,
insurance,
You're getting way
your
ahead of
help may be
yourself.
fully covered. Give us a call.
I know, they just sent an
24/7
email,
at
so I'm just
1-800-KICK
preparing you.
addiction.
Okay, good.
That's
All right,
1-800-KICK
stand by. Hot
addiction.
mics in 5,
This is
4,
Business
3,
1110.
2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So here's the scoop, folks. This is our shortest segment. I want to tell you all a couple of things really quickly. So Jason and I were shopping for office space for the new corporate headquarters for Right Path Real Estate Radio. That may be where our January event is going to be taking place. If not, it'll be at the Norris Conference Center. We're negotiating with them. So they're we'll know more by the end of the first week of December. So just stay tuned. Here's the main thing that I want to tell you before we go. We are going to have an event in January. If you're interested in learning how to find deals, how to fund deals, how to market deals, I think Jason and I, we've probably bought more houses in the last 2 years for sure than anybody else in Houston that we bought fixed and flipped. So if you want to know how to do it right here in Texas, I believe that if it works here in Texas, it's a very competitive marketplace. It'll work almost anywhere, with the exception of I think that the California market's a little bit different, and I think that the New York, New Jersey market is different as well. So what we do here probably won't work there, and vice versa. However, if you want to work what I'll call, middle America, Trump's America. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. If you want to, thanks, Nikki. If you want to, where the bulk of the country exists, I think what we do here in Houston, Texas will work, because it's about buying the property at the right price. If you want to see us, Jason and I, live, the next place that we're going to be live in person, you can network with us, ask us questions directly. We're going to be at Yard House Wednesday night from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's at 800 Sorella Court, Houston, Texas. That's over in 77024. That's an event that's being put on by Legacy, and it's also being sponsored by Right Path Real Estate. So it's just meet us at the Yard House from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Going to be a lot of fun. Jason and I will both be there. We'll be there the entire time. We might actually get there a couple of minutes early. You might show up early, 3:45. And see if we're there. If we're not, it's going to be close. We're going to be really close to being there about 3:45, and for sure we're not going to be leaving early. So walk up to us, ask us questions. If you want to, now here's the one thing. Here's a question that I get a lot, because I get a lot of sales questions. Jason gets a lot of marketing questions. I get a lot of sales questions. Oftentimes people say, "Hey Tom, what would you say if this happened?" And the truth is I can be stumped on those, because I don't get a lot of those questions. But it's because of how I'm setting up the entire conversation. So it's one of the things that we talk about in our 3-day weekend retreat. It's also something we talk about a lot with our mastermind students, is that the most important thing that you can do in the sales process is the bonding and rapport. And because I bond and rapport so well with folks, then when I'm setting up the entire sales presentation, it's really about asking them questions and getting at what's the real reason why they're eliminating the need for this asset. And so you've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Hopefully we added value to you today. And tune in tomorrow. Jason and I will both be in studio tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Mike's off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. I'll
Thanks.
talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Facebook folks.
Hey, this is Mark Conley from the Big Money Big